Okay, page 92, top right, top left. Uvda hava plenty. If you have such a language, have a it's not uvda have a be plenty, also plenty of midrash social plenty, line stain bedover. So happened. So the something happened in the first Rabbi Plony's house, and that Plony, Rabbi Plony, Be Rabbi Plony. It sounds like a riddle. I ain't staying with that davar.
The first one had a kasha, and he went to talk to the second one.
Okay, first the kasha went to the second one. Buddha Rav Rabbi Plony. And then they went to Medrashosha Plony. I understand Bedover. Gabi Uvdava Beirav Chista Beirav Huna. Okay, so it happened so that's the case. Okay, so it's confusing because even though it says Plony 3 times, there's 2 people here. Uvdava Rabbi Plony is Rav Chista, and Rabbi Plony to Rav Plony. So this case happened. Rav Chista and Rav Chista went to the house of Rav Huna, who was his Rebbe, to consult with him what the halacha should be. Okay? That is pretty confusing, but that's what it means. There are 5 psukim which you don't know how to punctuate. The classic example is the only one I remember offhand, but there are 4 others. Is Mnei Takum Vadarta Pnei Zaken. It's Mnei Takum Vadarta. It's a Takum Vadarta Pnei Zaken. Right? Where does the comma go in the middle? So we dash in both of them, right? Both ways. Because you have Mishum Hashem Rosh, we talk about of Elam Echreya. The psukim themselves don't have a Echreya. Ezra, when he came, put in the trap, obviously he put in a way to pronounce them, right? So therefore, even though in the Mikra there's no way to know how to put in the comma, and once you have trap, you do have that. The other main times are the way in davening. One of the best example I like is the example in Modim. Okay, is it Atohu Lidor Vador? Or is it Lidor Vador Nagid Tilasecha? Okay. Both can be correct. And you find different ways in different Sidurim. One thing which is not correct in all Sidurim, most Sidurim I should say, some are correct, is that in the last line of MS Vemuna by Mariv, actually it's also in Ezra as you saw in the morning. It's Moshe Bnei Yisrael Chanu Shira, and 99% of people say B'simcha Rabba V'amuchulam. That's incorrect. It should be Moshe Bnei Yisrael Chanu Shira B'simcha Rabba V'amuchulam. Okay, the Simcha Rabba really should go before, because it doesn't make sense to go afterwards. Also, once I'm on a roll, one more Kedusha is, which also drives me crazy, Kedusha for Shabbos morning. Azbukah Rash Gadol, Adir Chazak Mashmi and Kol. Makes no sense. Azbukah Rash Gadol, Adir Chazak Mashmi and Kol. So there's certain places where we put in the Echrei on the wrong place, which is even more wrong. Okay. And the brand. Ein halacha kishita. When you have, very often the Gemara says, okay, all these guys hold, like the classic example in Sukkah is, which you talk about, is Sukkah Diras Kva. The Sukkah has to be Diras Kva. Right?
I'm sorry, didn't hear you too well. One more time.
All these people, there's an example in Sukkah, is all these people hold Sukkah Diras Kva boim. There's the Sukkah has to be, either has to have wall, it's kosher above 20 amos, even though the walls have to be permanent walls, or you have to have 4 walls instead of 3 walls. There are a bunch of Tanoim and Amoraim who were brought down there. So the fact that we list them all as a Shita, one of them happens to be Beis Shammai. The fact that we list them as Shita doesn't mean we paskin like them. On the contrary, it's much more likely that we don't paskin like them, because Sukkah is supposed to be Diras Harai. Right, so when everything makes it says Shita, a bunch of opinions this way, you don't pass him like that Shita. Peirush, Kol Echad Shomar Gemara, plenty Sfilei Kach. They all hold sukkah diras keva bayinan. Have a shita, it's a shita. The Kabbalah biyad agonim and Kabbalah and the Messiah is the leisuch sukkah shita. The Adarabba, we don't pass like those which appear in the shita. Batam ishishimam nation derech chachamim lechos derech kitzura. Chachamim usually speak with a terse manner. Ulufum deka. Okay, next words are unintelligible in
Chazinan.
Unuka what?
Chazinan.
Unuka chazinan. Wow. Marshe manis really high svara. And according to what they see, they explain this. Who holds the svara? V'amri plenty amrukach. So if they're that's an interesting idea. If they're trying, since they want to point out who holds a certain way, they're going to take usually the minority opinion and list who holds like that minority opinion. Because if they specify majority opinion, they're going to have to specify far more Tanoim and Amoraim. So therefore, if you take, if one has a shita and it says these all hold the same way, it's usually going to be, and these are the minority as opposed to everybody else who holds the other way.
Okay.
That's it. Wouldn't pass like that. For Ruba, Ruba Ifchasfilu. That's what it opens. It tells us the names of the people who have the minority. Because that's not passing like that. Command what's next word? Man. So there's like the Mansfield Ifcha my Rabbi. Yochid Rabbim. Ubir of Shemimenu Lomda Goinim, Shenaloch Kishita Perk Ezenesha. I guess I don't remember what the case is over there, but I guess that's the case where it is the most fundamental case, which we know of that, where we see that Ein Aloch Kishita.
Okay.
Okay, next one. Ein Mikayotze B'Dev Shuto. What does that mean? So Ein has Midrash Levad Ikar. I was name I miss. Hamedesh v'apshat. V'akasav seivel sakom. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, in other words, it doesn't mean that and don't disregard the medrash. No, but both of them are primary. Both of them, the Torah can tolerate both. What's this olive here? There's something. Ashkon asks there shava mafik the kramashusa the gamre. I know it I don't think Beis Aviyun is Beretz Yisrael, so I don't know what it is here. But you find sometimes there's shava which removes the pasuk from its simple meaning altogether. Perik basis of sota halacha okeres umakeves umakeres samiko. The halacha must be seen. I can undermine the pasuk. So at least in terms of halacha. What the Yavitz is saying is that we find cases in halacha where the halacha undermines the simple shot in the pasuk, and I don't think that contradicts any because that's Shuto. It means there's still a pasuk shot in the pasuk, but in terms of halacha, no, don't go after the pasuk shot. Okay. Yes, and there's a pasuk shot, but the halacha doesn't necessarily follow that pasuk shot, which I think is what the Yavitz is trying to say, although I'm not 100% sure about that. Is there another footnote on this one? No. Okay. Diavad. Diavad murka mishnei milos. Diavad. Diavad means after if you already did literally if you already did it, then it's okay. In other words, l'chatchila always means it's preferential not to do it that way. But if you did it already, you're yotze.
Right.
Okay. So b'diavad means b'diavad. Okay, after the fact, we say it's good enough. But it says it always comes to argue on the previous statement. Amosai can mean sometimes it comes to argue, sometimes it comes to explain. No, okay. All those languages. V'od v'omer ksib hu chazek hadavar yosef. It's the strength of the previous point. Ukshenira lo she'ein mechazek hadavar yoser. And if it seems to the Gemara that, wait a minute, it's not for strength in the previous point. Parchina mai v'od. The Gemara asks, what is the v'od? Mai v'omer, what do you mean v'omer? Mai v'ksiv, right? It's not working out. Valderech zeh inami kamo v'od. Really? I always thought inami is different, not that it's mechazik. Okay, that's a chiddush to me. I thought inami is a different shop. Is saying inami is supposed to be mechazik.
Okay.
Okay. Tzarech. Tzarech kasav whoever it is. Okay. Tzarech uvid rabbanan midaraisa chayav miboile. Okay, but it says tzarech. Yeah, it means you have to do it. It's the rabbanan. Because it's not a language of obligation, right? It says tzarich adam to do X, Y, Z. It's the rabbanan. It says chayav adam to do X, Y, Z. Then it's the raisa, because chayav means it's total obligation. Tzarich means not necessarily an obligation, just something a person must do, but not obligation. So let's go down here to the Agos Ben Aryeh. Tzarich. Kasav is something called tzarich. This goes to see another mean on lulav tzarich eged. The lulav has to be bound. Last meet the raisa leman desfile haki kisa sham, which is in other words we pass in lulav ain't tzarich eged. It's just a hit or mitzvah. You don't have to bind it together. But the person who holds lulav tzarich eged holds it's the raisa, and yes, it says tzarich. Hazakay lulav lo shaykh me'machayim. It's not talking about the person. A person that can be tzarech, a person can be chayav, but a lulav can't be chayav, right? You gotta say lulav chayav eged. So it says lulav tzarech eged, right? When the subject is a person, you can differentiate between tzarech and chayav. But it's the subject is a lulav, you can't say that. That's cute. Aval heicha, the kayal adam, the tzarech lasos. That's about a person too. But hakasav arav rabbanan, and that is saying that's rabbanan. But that's it's not so clear. The Ashkechan Tzarech Midaraisa of the Sham Tzarech Chatchila Mashma, which is interesting because it's a question. There is a concept of Tzarech of the Chatchila Daraisa, but evidently there isn't. Mina Sham Beis of a Kama Duchte Yesh Lomar Tzarech ve'Ein Lo Takana. Tzarech ve'Ein Lo Takana seems like it's a Daraisa as well. So I guess or it's outside not the rice, it's an obligation. I don't know. That doesn't necessarily make it the rice. But in any event, like any principle, it's possible it has an exception. And without looking at more and brachas, okay, it may well be that tzarech does occasionally mean the rice, but overall, he's saying that tzarech would mean the rabbanan and chayav would mean the rice. Okay. Every rule has exceptions, as they say. When it says in the Navi, a din which has been in the Torah, it has to have a chiddush, otherwise it's not legit. Or it's a parish or some interpretation. It's not going to say any chiddush makshina. We ask, Michael Mashlon, right? It's Torah Kamahadin. You can't say we're just chazing over what it says in the Torah. If a Navi says something, what's interesting chiddush here? Navi says something, there's got to be a chiddush in what he's saying over what the Torah is saying.
Interesting.
Kasa b'tav ches shargil pergel absam ramen kol echadit ma rabbanan debei rav. It's my kol tamidim b'nei yeshiva. Okay. However, bei rav,
I have
lo
the
rav mamish. Ella.
You've skipped some lines. Try again.
What?
Read it again slowly.
Kol echadit ma rabbanan debei rav.
I have
What's
the
the mar tamidim b'nei yeshiva? That's the tamidim b'nei yeshiva. Bei rav, lo rav mamish. It doesn't necessarily include rav, right? I'm saying that doesn't mean rav himself. Talmid, Rabbanan debate, Rabbanan debate, Rabbanan debate, Rebbe. It means the Talmidim in yeshiva, but not necessarily that the Rebbe himself said it. The Talmidim in the yeshiva said it.
Okay.
And Bei Rav, Lo Rav Mamish. The same thing. It says Bei Rav. It doesn't necessarily mean the house of Rav. Ella Beis Hey, whatever that means. What does it say here in test on the bottom? Nothing. Based on Medrash, I guess. I'm assuming it's based on Medrash. It's the same principle. Okay, and now you gotta help me up on the next one because it's totally obliterated mine. Perik Beis Simon, Kufman Beis. What does it say?
The Amrei Bei Rav, Hu Rav Mamish.
Aha. Well. Okay, so it says Bei Rav is not Rav Mamish. Amrei Bei Rav is Rav Mamish. Okay, the word Amrei makes all the difference in the world. Bei Rav is a base medrash. Amrei Bei Rav means the students in the house of Rav himself. Tzumer Merabbanan, Perish Bachor V'hainu. Perish Bachor is a young scholar. Hahu Merabbanan Hainu Zakin. That's an older scholar. Al Tikri. Si Balachas Elichos Eli. Siman Gimel Al Tikri Rak Kazu Ela Kazu Ukazu. Mashmachi Sham Siman Dalit. Okay. Matzino Al Tikri She'eno. Okay, I can't read anything here.
Mishana Ela Madgish.
Okay, we find that it doesn't change, but rather it emphasizes
the Rafi. Lamed Reish Pei Yud. Period.
Magish, Sheno, Mishnah, Magish, what? Rapi?
The Rapi, the Reish Pei Yud. Reish Pei Yud.
Okay, so something's wrong with that. Let's see what it says here. No, you're right. That's what it says. I mean, that's correct. Mike. Oh, it's not changing the letters, or it's only saying put in a dagesh in this letter, which would have been rough.
Okay.
That's what it means. Okay. Right?
Okay.
Perhaps it's telling you to read it with greater stress, I guess. Risham Siman Tav Reish Ayin Zayin Kol Echad Kamar Pasuk Echad Kari Behachi. Read it this way. Vika Mesores Ki Adorininu. Veinchiluk El Ben Kudos. They're not changing the letters, so it goes Afghan Rogar Kari Behachi. Einakaman Lamar. Share, what's the next word?
Shadoresh.
Shadoresh Mikra Mesores. El Tzarech Shabeis Rosh Tiana Bechal Mikra. Beats me what that means. I don't know. Beats me. Let's go on. Kol pasuk shetzarich legufo. Any pasuk which requires, it says tzarich legufo. No, the Gemara says by sukkahs. It says sukkahs 3 times, right?
Right.
And the first sukkah is tzarich legufo. You have to tell me that there's a concept of sukkah, right? So kol pasuk shetzarich legufo.
Low niyal.
Yeah, why did you take out the low?
I don't know.
Should be low.
I think so.
What's the sign here that goes Ben Aryeh? No, but Aryeh says that you do take it out.
נמחק מבואר למעיין בשיטת עלייה שם ובתוספות.
Okay, you know what? I don't know. To me, it seems to have taken it out, but maybe it's going with the shita of this this shita here. I don't know why. What do you say that? Kopas legufo lo neiluf min leik she'eno tzorich legufo legui ba'alma. Chen chol shitas aliyah. Chen chol shitas aliyah reish yivamis. Favor krisus.
בשיטת עלייה, מעיין בשיטת עלייה שם ובתוספות. שיטת עלייה sounds like it's the name of a sefer. וכן כל נקודה.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing in Yivamis.
Shitas Aliyah, you ever heard of it?
Nope. I think it's Oleha. Rabbi Yishach Osalosi Kach Ritzror. Olos Avasa Oleh B'Chayel. Oleh Matzah Amalon Fishne Mayibama Yabo Oleh. Shemani Afil B'Chatzko Arayas Musmatorkos Madaber. And Makan Eleven and Malahan Oleh. Malel Makom Mitzvah Kam Makom Mitzvah. But Machmar Lo Sikach. Okay, but it doesn't say. I don't know.
All right.
I think that's why I do that more, but I don't know how. I don't need the Kochitas Aleh means this whole sugi over here. The whole sugi Aleh. So a pasuk evidently comes out pasuk Tzarech Gupo, we learn. A pasuk Shein Tzarech Gupo, we don't learn. And it's not the same thing as Lagupo Masechet Sukkah. So it's a totally different thing here.
All right, fine. Let's keep going. Let's finish this up.
Yeah, okay. Pamin Nishar Teba Shlo Yadanu Lidrosh Ali B'Chatana. Yeshulu Milchuli Amma. Kiha, what? Kiha the Chamor, the bar, Rabbi Yulam said that people are called Kasha B'Matzia. Yeah, there's certain words which says that we don't know how to darshan them. Why the word Chamor is written by bar, it says, when if you pose in the bar, this, that, the other thing, and the word Chamor, we don't know how to darshan there, according to Rabbi Yehuda. And said Aveda, why it says, sure, it said, etc. By Aveda, we don't know the darshan. There's another case you try to remember, which is Gam Lebeis Hillel is difficult, where it says, Esnan, Losli Esnan, Gam Shneihem. So you shouldn't, the word Gam, Beis Shammai darshans, that also the Shinuim, Gam L'Rabo Shineim. Also the Shinui, whatever an Esnan on the Mechila is changed into, it still can't be brought as a korban. But it says that according to Beis Hillel, who holds a Shin, if it's Mishuna, you can bring it, the word Gam is extra. So sometimes you don't know what the darshan, we leave it that way. Afilu, Kasarash Birchos Sitzes, She, B'Mokom Shel Lomar, Afilu V'Amar, Ve'afilu, that's with above, Marbe Trey Mile. It comes to include two things. Can't cause maybe riled over, can't cause the dozen menachos, these are called chelas. Okay? Well, I don't know what it comes to include, but now we know There's a difference between afilu and ve'afilu. And next time we can do the Klallim of Rashi.
Okay.
Okay, shkoyach.
All right. Shkoyach.
Next Sunday and Sunday afterwards I'm off from. It's like the official yeshiva week vacation. I'll probably still be available, but I'll let you know if not.
All right.
Okay.
Very good.
Take care.
Take it easy.